Who's back again. Get shady.
Nah, scratch that. This ain't shady. This is Hafeestonova, aka your musical plug, creator of the Energy Force. He's back like he never left with another season of the Cha-Cha Music Review podcast. Yeah, baby. So, Cha-Cha Nation, tell somebody to tell anybody to tell everybody that the Cha-Cha Music Review podcast is back, and we'll be amplifying the African sounds by bringing the best of African music to your ears.
Good day, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, and members of the Cha-Cha Nation. Welcome to another episode of the Cha-Cha album review series on the Cha-Cha Music Review podcast. My name is Hafeestonova, aka your musical plug, creator of the Energy Force, and I'm back as if I never left. Today, I'll be talking about a brand new album that was released on the 4th of February by AG Baby, formerly known as Adekunle Gold. And this album is titled Catch Me If You Can. But I'll not be doing this review alone. I have the Vibe Madam, the queen of the Vibe Nation in the compound with me. Yes, Veracity. What's up? How are you doing?
Hi, Nova. Wait, that kind of intro, my goodness. But wait, why did you call AG Baby, formerly known as Adekunle Gold? Hello.
That's what it goes by now. His name is AG Baby. He's your baby. So he doesn't use Adekunle Gold. He has transformed from Adekunle Gold. Adekunle Gold was where he was still looking for Rente and was still following Sade. But now that he is a sinner and he's telling us to catch him if we can, we don't move to AG Baby.
The transition. But hey, his name is Adekunle. Don't come and tell us his former.
We'll talk about that in another episode. Let's get into what we are going to talk about today. Today we want to look at the album from Adekunle Gold or AG Baby, and the album is titled Catch Me If You Can. Like I rightly said, this album was released on the 4th of February 2022, and the album has 14 tracks and it features the likes of Davido, Dolla, Lucky Daye, Stefflon, Foushee. Production credit goes to the likes of Pheelz, Mr. Producer, Lwar, Rhmez, Lekaa, TMXO, Blaise, Beatz, Beatz, and Seyifunmi and Davoyo. Those are the producers that worked on the album. So Veracity, let's quickly do this. What was your first impression when you listened to the album?
Oh my goodness, I felt like it was a brand new Adekunle Gold, no AG Baby, sorry. And I kind of like the vibe. I liked it so much. Catch Me If You Can. And the name was quite like, hey, guy, what's up? How did you come up with that name? And the features, it was so really wonderful. Really, I liked it.
And me, I'm not even going to lie. The first time I listened to this album, I was in my friend's car and we both look, Adekunle Gold don't release album. Moya play a mo yeah. And we played it. And honestly, I think we got to the 4th track, which is was it the 4th track or the 5th track? The track titled Mercy, which he released as a single of the album. That was when I felt okay, because I don't hear this one before. I enjoy him. Then the next one that came after that was More Than Enough. And that was like the first song that really caught, my attention. Then the next song that caught my attention was the one that featured Stefflon, Fire. Then after that was Sleep. After that was obviously I with Davido. We've heard that one also. But the one that also caught my attention was Diawara. I love that track. Now, the truth is, on my first listening of this album, I didn't gravitate towards it immediately. Probably because I was on the move or I was not in a much more calm or settled environment. I didn't really get it. But after I got home and I listened to the album for the second time, my earpiece on and I was in a calm environment and the album began to play from Born Again to Win to Mashimi to One Woman. Everything was just beginning to synchronize into my brain and it started to make sense. And I felt like, oh my God, Adekunle Gold came through on this album. And I'm not even going to lie. Before I tell you to talk about, what some of your favorite tracks, the one you like, the one you don't like, them just, quickly chip in my own. Like I rightly said, I've mentioned More Than Enough was the first track that got my attention. I love the Afro jazz and the Afro beat that was mixed together into that song. That was love. As in that's the production. Shout out to QB for that production. I mean, I'm not even going to lie. You killed the production of that song. Another song that I love most is the song titled Sleep, which was produced by Tilo. I mean, Tilo also did a great job. For those of you that don't know, he also produced some tracks on Whiskey Made in Lagos album. But another song that also, caught my attention is a song titled Dio, and that was produced by Spax. I mean, that song was also making sense. But the song that I did not really, really, really vibe to is a song titled One Woman, which features Dolla. Now, do not get me wrong, Dolla came through on that song, and that song, if I'm to give it a rating, I'll probably say maybe a 6/10 rating. Because I felt like of all the songs on the album, that was not the song that you were supposed to feature Dolla. I mean, again, no disrespect. He came through on that song, but that was not just the song he was supposed to feature in. He was supposed to, for me, if I was to feature Dolla, I either feature him on Dio, or I feature him on Sleep, or to even look at it, I probably feature him on Catch Me If You Can, which is the last track, on the album. Aside from that, every other song on this album made sense.
I think we kind of had contradicting opinion as regards this album, because how did you listen from 1, 2, 3, 4 till like 5 where you have Mercy before you quarterly find something that you felt like, oh, this is it? I mean, from the very beginning, listen to the very first track, Born Again. When he entered, I was like, ooh, that felt cool. Yeah, of course, I did like it. But hey, how can you say you did not vibe with that? I kind of have a problem with you over there. But another issue I have with the whole of the album, let me comment on that first before I go from track to track. My issue is that they were just too short. By the time you start vibing to every one of them, that is when it's coming to an end. I'm like, guy, what's happened? The whole of the album is never up to an hour. All of them combined together. Okay, yeah, I have favorite tracks. I love the Win. The part that really touched me was when he said, win so hard, gonna make a scene. Oh my goodness. I felt like he was talking to unseen haters. For me, generally, the song was all about the vibe, the feel. It was just calm, so relaxing. That was basically it for me for this song. And the track 3, Mase Abi, I don't know how the Yoruba name he called it. It was basically speaking Yoruba.
It
I
means
don't know what
no
that
do me,
means.
no do me, no do me, no do me. He's telling the devil,
No,
not the devil, not don't do me, don't do me. Má ṣe mí
no.
èṣù, má ṣe mí, má ṣe mí
Okay.
èṣù, má ṣe mí ọmọ ẹlòmíì ni kò ṣe. That means the devil no come near me. Now another person may go face. And that song was, was inspired by one of the classic of Chief Ebenezer Obey.
I like this song. I like the feel of the Yoruba in it because I have always loved Yoruba language. I don't know why. But yeah, I love the song. Although I didn't understand a thing they said in that song, I just love the vibe. It was cool, it was calm, it was relaxing and everything. Then track 4. I'm so surprised you said you didn't like One Woman. My guy, that song, I can tell that it's for Simi, the wife. This song was just so cool. Happens to be my favorite, apart from the ones that he dropped as singles before he dropped the album. But I would say that is my
Yeah.
favorite.
Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that song is not a good song. Yeah. I just have a problem with the feature on the song. Because at the end of the day, the song had more of, especially towards the chorus side, it had more of this Nigerian high life. And I felt like it's probably something like maybe a Flavor, or even probably like, let's say, a Duncan Mighty, or somebody within that genre could, I mean, bring it. Yeah, again, like I said, Dolla came through on the song, no doubt. But that was just, for me, again, like I said, that wasn't just, I felt like it could have probably, given Dolla on that song. For example, that song titled Sleep. I mean, you said, just imagine Dolla on top of that song. That would just be the end. Like, that would be like, boom, the album don't blow, finish. But then again, it is what it is, man.
Okay, then we'll move to track 6, which happens to be More Than Enough. You see, I have a problem with that song, and the only problem is that it was just too short. I have a problem with that. I love everything about the song. We moved to the one he featured Stefflon
Stefflon Don.
Don. I did not really catch anything from the song. I did not really feel anything for it. No, it was like my least favorite track in the whole of the album. And then Sleep. A song that will be best enjoyed when you are calling your boo. The song is cool, but I did not really feel the vibe too. I didn't feel the vibe, but I just feel like it's just there. There are some songs you usually hear and you'd be like, they're just there. but probably you hear them on a very loud speaker. You'll be like, ooh, is that the song? Cool, I like it. But hey, for me, listening to it all by myself, it was not really it for me. What was I expected? And then to the very last and wonderful track with the name of the album, Catch Me If You Can. My most wonderful and heartwarming moment about the album was the part the brother had to say, like, let's say, outro for the song. Oh my goodness, you know, when you are doing so great and your family are just behind you. Oh my goodness, you are doing well, guy. Keep it up. That was the moment for me. Actually, it meant a whole lot. I was listening to the song that I actually waited patiently to hear, like let everything sink in. Then I just heard that part. That was it for me completely. Like I loved it so much. It was just so wonderful for me. I did not really pay attention to the whole song, whatever he was saying in the whole of the track, but that part where his brother talked was it for me. What would I call it? The dot on the I for me. The album was cool, really. It was really, really cool.
I like how you were able to, touch on every every track except from the one that was released as a single. And I like how you had, something to talk about every track. And this is one of the reasons why, I always want, to do this with somebody. So at times it won't be like, oh, it's just my own, opinion. At least if we can have, different kind of opinion on the album, it shows that, okay, yes, maybe at the end of the day, we can always, come to a common ground. Like you rightly said, there are some songs I vibe to, there are some songs you were not vibing to. But in general, like you rightly said, the album is a good album. If you listen to this album, technically, this album cannot be classified as an Afrobeat. It is more of an R&B / pop, album. Yes, there are some elements of Afrobeat inside. There are also some elements of jazz inside. But songs like Sinner, songs like Sleep, songs like The songs like Sailor, these are some R&B songs. And when you go to songs like I, obviously, More Than Enough, Mercy, these are pop songs. So you could say that Adekunle Gold did a wonderful job. This album titled Catch Me If You Can is an album that talks about freedom, is an album that talks about love, is an album that talks about growth. Those are the three things you'll find on this album. And Adekunle Gold really, really came through on this album. It did not disappoint. If I am to rate the album, I will give the album an 8/10.
The album talked about a whole lot of things. Talked about self-growth, self-love, how he has improved, everything basically, and how you should shun haters because haters gonna hate always. The album did great. I would give it like 7.5.
Okay,
Yeah.
7.5/10. That is what Veracity is going to rate it. A 7.5 and an 8/10. Just to tell you that this album is a good album and is an album you should definitely add to your playlist. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and boys and girls of the Cha-Cha Nation, we have come to the end of another episode of the Cha-Cha album review series on the Cha-Cha Music Review Podcast, which is being brought to you by Absoluta Media, your number one online media and digital marketing agency in Nigeria. My name will always remain Hafeestonova, aka your musical plug, creator of the energy force. Keep the energy on a positive level. Peace out.
Yeah, cha-cha time, 2 time for the cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Rockin' with the best, cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Alaye with cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang. Wati my body, cha-cha gang. Give me the cha-cha gang, cha-cha gang. Wati my body.